Hello there. I just wanted to give a quick update on the Divinity Original Sin 2 series. First of all, the series is not ending. It's not going on a break. It's just going to continue tomorrow as usual. But I wanted to get some things out of the way. First of all, I wanted to apologize because in my last recording session of this game, so the last 6 episodes, I have to say I noticed during the edit how grouchy I was, and I was just kind of having a bad day, but I had to record that day because the first episode of the session had to go out on that same day. But I shouldn't have let my foul mood carry over into the commentary. That's on me, and I want to say I'm sorry about that. It might also give off the wrong impression that I don't like this game. I do like this game quite a bit, actually, though not all of the aspects, and that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. Firstly, I am very interested in the story, in the characters, and in the world itself. Those things interest me quite a bit, and are the things I like the most about the game. What I have to admit I don't love is the combat, and I will elaborate, but before I get into that, just remember, I like this game, no matter what I say about the combat. That's not changing that. I like this game, okay? If you need reassurance about that, just come back to this point in time. If I ever say something that annoys you, I like this game, okay? But the combat, I don't love. I find it, to be honest, kind of tedious at times. I can give some reasons why. I personally don't like how movement speed and attacks both come from the same pool of action points, because it feels like it punishes you for positioning yourself and it punishes you for adapting to the positioning of the enemies. And I don't really like that. I like turn-based combat more when you can freely position yourself, like in Baldur's Gate 3, for example. You have those different pools. You have the pool of movement speed, you have the action, the bonus action, etc. I'm sure there's legal reasons why you don't use the Dungeons and Dragons system in a game that isn't related to it. That makes sense, don't get me wrong, but it just feels like it locks you in place at times, and I personally don't like that. Then secondly, if somebody stands next to you, there's no disengage action, so if you want to move away, you're gonna get hit. And with how hard a lot of the enemies hit, you don't really want to take that, so that locks you in place even more. And the last point about that, about how the combat feels, is the environmental effects, the ground being covered in all sorts of stuff. I feel like it's a bit much. I feel like some fire on the ground, some acid, poison, oil, whatever, sure. But I feel like the game goes a bit overboard with that stuff, and that hinders you even more if you have to get close to enemies to hit. Like my character, which is a knight, and it's a melee fighter, it's a martial class. If you have to get close to enemies, a lot of the time that is really punishing because of the effects on the ground as well. And to be honest, if you think that's a fun part of the game, then that's great for you. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's not really what I like about turn-based combat games. But, that's obviously subjectively just my opinion here. But because there's a lot of combat in this game, I feel like that could over time hamper my enjoyment of it. And thus I've decided, and I'm announcing to you here, that this game has this what's it called, the gift bag or whatever, that adds some changes to how the game functions. I have to look into it more, but the resurrection through bedroll is one of the things. I'm leaving that on as well. But I might add some more things from that to the game to make the fights at least easier, so I get through them sooner and can focus more on the things I like more about the game. So in case next episode I rock up with more action points or something like that. I haven't looked into it that closely yet, so I don't know what exactly to expect from it. But if I rock up with more with more stuff without much in terms of explanation, you know, that's why. I just kind of want to get through the combat to get to the things that I care more about, like the story, the characters, the world building, all of that. So that's going to happen in the next recording session, which first episode of that will come out tomorrow. So yeah, just so you know what to expect. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this right now. Thank you very much for watching, and see you maybe tomorrow. Goodbye.